Welcome, my name's Marjorie Hutchinson, and this is my 90-minute mystical vinyasa flow for my SYI final. Joining with me is Melanie. She's my bestie. If I have any adjustments that I need to do to you today, do I have your consent to touch you? Perfect. Let's start the class with a little intention setting. For me, my intention is to be clear with my instructions and helpful as we practice yoga today and center our mind, body, and soul. For you, it could be anything. It could be a word, a goal, letting go, relaxing, strengthening. Let's take an inhale together, exhale, and start to center our breath. I'm gonna light a little bit of sage and minimize our auras, the auras, and cleanse the room. Keep inhaling and exhaling. As we center our breath together. And to begin class, we will do 3 ohms together. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, as we find a comfortable seat on our mat, lengthen our spine, feel the strength of the mat and ground beneath us. Let's listen to the singing bowl and set our intention as it sings for us. It's okay. Obviously, I need practice with my singing bowl. But laughter is good. Laughter is cleansing, and having fun is what it's all about. So, back to our breath work. Let's start with some yogic breath work where we put our hands on our belly. On the inhale, feel it rise, feel our ribs expand and our chest lift. Take big exhales out of your mouth as you relax your jaw. Keep feeling your belly rise, your ribs expand, and your chest lift with each inhale. See if you can fill your lungs up a little bit more each breath. And on the exhale, let out a big sigh. final exhale, we're going to prepare for our skull shining breath. We've done this before. If you're pregnant or have high blood pressure or have recently had surgery, just continue with the yogic breath. But if you're Melanie, you're going to, when I cue it, on the inhale 3/4 of the way, and exhale quickly 25 times, and I will count for you. So let's take a cleansing breath together. So inhale all the way, and exhale all the way, and inhale 3/4 of the way, and exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, all the way, exhale all the way. We'll do that one more time now that we have our pattern. When you're ready, inhale 3/4, and exhale, 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 exhale. And exhale. That's a little difficult if you're a beginner, but if you tried, good job. To recenter our breath, let's just do some breath retention. So let's take a big inhale together and hold at the top for as long as you can, and then take a giant exhale. I didn't hear her exhale. Okay. Inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale. And now let's do our Nadi Shona breath. If you remember from last time, you're going to take your ring finger and plug your left nostril, and your thumb is going to plug the right nostril, not at the same time. You can either place your middle finger and your ring finger on your third eye, or you can have them tucked. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug the right nostril, and we're gonna inhale, and then we're gonna exhale out of the same nostril. And after you exhale, you switch. So then plug the right nostril and open the left, and inhale through the left nostril, exhaling through the same left nostril. And after the exhale, unplug and switch sides. We're gonna do this for 3 rounds. After your 3rd round, you can relax your hands. And then lastly is my favorite breath, is the SYI breath. And this is a way to cue your body to warm up your muscles. So imagine that you are, on your exhale, fogging up a mirror almost. You're gonna restrict your throat just a little bit, but instead of fogging, when you fog up a mirror, your mouth is open. You're gonna close your mouth, and some people call it ocean breath because you make almost a growling sound. And this is a very quick way to warm up your muscles. I think I was told that in ancient times, ninjas and warriors would do it before going into battle, which is kind of cool. All right, now we're gonna begin class with a little bit of seated warm-ups. So find a comfortable seat with your legs crossed. And on an inhale, raise your arms above head. Exhale, place your right hand to your right side for a side body stretch, reaching that left arm over your head. Your gaze can meet your hand, your left hand in the sky. And on an exhale, meet me back in the center. Inhale together. Exhale, place the left hand on the ground, reaching that right arm overhead. And on your inhale, reach a little farther. On your next inhale, meet me back in the center. And fold forward. On the exhale, reaching your arms in front of you. With each inhale, lengthen your spine. And each exhale, walk a little farther if you can. And on an inhale, rise back up to seated. And meet me in a tabletop. Place your hands directly below your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips. We're gonna do one cat-cow. So on your inhale, raise your head to the sky, tailbone, arch your back. And exhale for your cat, curving the spine, rounding your shoulders. And on your next inhale, meet in a neutral. And prepare for your first downward dog. Spread the fingertips, tuck your toes, and raise your hips high to the sky. This is the first downward dog of the day, so feel free to pedal out your dog. Check in with your hands. Make sure you're putting the weight in the meat of your palms, where your fingers meet your hand. Spreading your fingers to take weight off of your wrists. And inviting the heels towards the floor. If they don't touch the floor, that's okay. And then keeping your gaze towards your feet and your spine as straight as possible. Your ears between your shoulders. Most people don't spend long enough in downward dog, so it's important to check in with your downward dog. And you can always shift your weight forward into a plank, making sure that your arms are above your shoulders, and then raise the hips again, inviting the heels towards the floor, keeping the ears between your biceps. And on your inhale, raise your right leg into the air. Exhale, step it through, placing it between your palms. We're gonna stay with our hands on the mat, and you can shorten your dog but we're going to straighten both legs as much as possible for a triangle variation. Inhale and really breathe into that back hamstring of the front leg. You can keep a micro bend in the knee. If possible, keep your hands planted on the ground. Feet should be facing forward. And on the exhale, drop your back knee for a low lunge. Inhale, arms above head. And on the exhale, straighten that front leg and sit back on your back leg, inviting the toes towards the face for a half split. Option to bring your blocks on either side of your leg. This really takes your body out of protection mode so you can breathe farther into the stretch. Take a few breaths here. Keeping the toes flexed. And with each exhale, try to bring your chest a little closer to your knee. And on your next inhale, place your blocks to the side, bending back into that knee, meeting me back in a forward lunge, low forward lunge. Arms to the sky. Option to take a back bend here. Cactus your arms, bend your back, gaze to the sky. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, hands to heart center. And on your next inhale, twist to the right. So you're gonna hook your left elbow over your right knee. And we'll take a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, meet me back into your low lunge, arms above head. Take a few breaths here. And on the exhale, place your hands back on the mat, framing your foot. Tuck your toe and step back into your downward dog. Pedal out your dog. We're gonna take 3 breaths here together. Check in with your dog, making sure your spine is straight. Hips to the sky, ears between your biceps, fingers are spread. We're gonna inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step it through, place it between your hands. We're going to keep our hands on the mat. We're going to shorten your dog if you need to and straighten that front leg as much as possible. Option to keep a micro bend for your triangle variation. Make sure you breathe, send the breath to that tight hamstring. And when you exhale, fold a little bit closer to your knee. Inhale. Exhale, drop that back knee. Inhale, raise your arms above head, low lunge. On your exhale, sit back on that leg, straightening your left leg. Bring your toes to your face. Implementing your blocks if you like. And breathe. And on your inhale, bend that front knee, raising the arms above head, meeting me in a lunge, a low lunge. Exhale, cactus arms, mini back bend. Gaze to the sky. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, twist to the left, hooking your right arm over your left knee. Breathe into the twist. Straighten your spine. Gaze over your left shoulder. And on your next inhale, untwist, arms above head, low lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, place your hands on either side of your foot. Step back into plank. We're gonna do our first chaturanga or upward facing dog. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower, pushing your gaze to the sky for cobra, upward dog, making sure your feet are flipped. And on your exhale, push back into downward dog. Raise your hips to the sky. And when you're ready, walk your feet in to meet your hands in a first forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way to mountain, arms above head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Check in with your mountain pose, making sure your feet are strong underneath you. Spreading your toes, making sure your big toe and your pinky toe are engaged. Lifting the middle toes. Making sure that your calves are engaged. Your thighs, lift off the knees. This is not just a hangout pose. This is all body is engaged pose. Making sure you roll your shoulders down your spine. We're gonna do 3 rounds of sun salutation A and 3 rounds of sun salutation B. So we're gonna do the first one together a little slow, and then the next 2 will be a little faster. So on your inhale, raise your arms above head, and exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and step back into plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Taking 1 resting breath here together. And on your inhale, step towards the front of your mat, meet in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way back to mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands above head. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Inhale for your cobra, flip your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, step forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way. Hands above head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last round. Inhale, hands above head. Exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands, step back into plank. Lower yourself, chaturanga. Flip the feet, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Resting breath together here. And on your inhale, walk forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna reset before we go into the Sun Sal B. Mainly because I'm 8 months pregnant and I need a breath. Option to drink some water. And when we are ready, we're gonna inhale our hands above head and sit back into chair. Pretend there is a chair behind you that you're going to be seated in, making sure that your knees, you can see your toes, your knees are behind, just behind your toes, and the weight is in your heels. On the exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Lower yourself, chaturanga, cobra, upward dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Listen for the change. Inhale your right leg high and step it through, placing it between your hands. Keeping the bend in the knee, feeling the strength in your legs, and with that strength, rise up into warrior one, hands above head. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat, step back into plank. You flow or chaturanga. Inhale into cobra, upward dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Take a resting breath. And on your inhale, raise your left leg or your other leg. High, exhale, step it through, keeping a bend in the knee, feeling the strength in your legs. Hinge at the hips and use that strength to bring yourself up, hands above head. Warrior one. Your feet are going to be facing back foot 45-degree angle, front foot straight. And on your exhale, dive forward, planting your hands, stepping back into plank. Inhale your cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gaze forward, bend at the knee, hop, step, or jump forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to mountain. Exhale, hands at heart center. 2 more rounds of that. Okay. Inhale, hands above head, sit back into that chair, making sure the weight is in your heels. Exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra, down, upward facing dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a resting breath here. And on your inhale, raise your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through, placing it between your hands, keeping the bend in the knee, hinge at the hips, raise your arms above head, warrior one. Exhale, placing your hands on the mat, step back into plank, you flow chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Resting breath here. And on your inhale, raise your left leg high. Exhale, place it between your hands, keeping a bend in your knee. Your back foot at a 45-degree angle, raise for warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, you flow chaturanga. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend in the knee, gaze forward. Walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to mountain. Exhale, hands at heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms above head, sit back in your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. You flow. Inhale for cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, that left leg high. Exhale, place it between your hands, keeping a bend in the knee, back foot at a 45-degree angle, lift for warrior one. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, you flow, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, hop step, or walk forward to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to mountain. Exhaling your hands to heart center. Whew, shake it out. Get some water. It's warm in here. Great job, Melanie. Okay, now that we are nice and warm, we're gonna go through some poses together. It'll be a little bit slower pace. We're gonna end in our chakra poses and then a nice long shavasana. So, perfect. Let's take a few resting breaths in a seated position. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. On our next inhale, let's find our way into a tabletop. We're gonna just do a few cat-cows. On your inhale, raise your head and your tailbone, arching your back. Exhale, curving the spine. And with your own breath, do this 3 times for a nice reset after those sun salutations. And on an exhale, push up into a downward dog. Inhale and walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Listen for the change. On an inhale, arms above head for a chair. Making sure, again, that your weight is in your heels. If you're pregnant, you might want to take a wider stance. If you want it more of a challenge, keep your feet tight together. Really sit back, and with your arms above head, you put an extra 10 pounds of weight. Exhale your hands to heart center, and on your inhale, twist to the right, hooking your left elbow on your right knee. Inhale and exhale, twist a little farther. And on your next inhale, back to chair, arms above head. Inhale, and on your exhale, twist to the other side, hooking your right elbow on your left knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale. On your next inhale, meet back in chair. Exhale, stand up, hands to heart center. With your feet shoulder width apart, raise your right knee, hinge at your hips, bend forward, stepping that right leg back as far as you can, placing it at a 90-degree angle. Keeping a bend in your front leg, your left leg. Tee your arms out to the side, turn your body all the way to the right. Warrior 2. Option to breathe, flow with this. On your inhale, raise your arms. On your exhale, bring them back down to a T. And when you do that, try to lean a little bit farther into that bent leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Can we bend a little bit farther? Exhale. And on your next inhale, straighten that front leg, dropping your left arm to your calf for a triangle pose. Both legs should be straight. Right arm to the sky. Look up at your fingers. Option to flow with this too. You can bring your right arm back down to your calf and then inhale it back up. Seeing if you can stretch a little farther with each inhale and exhale. And on an inhale, meet me back in triangle. We're gonna bend that left leg again for an extended side angle. Rest your elbow on your leg, but barely. We don't want a lot of weight on your knee. And then reach your right arm above head and really feel that stretch in your side. Inhale, straighten that leg back into warrior 2. Exhale. Inhale, step your legs forward to mountain pose. Hands to heart center. We're gonna inhale the left leg high and slowly hinge at the hips, stepping your left leg all the way back into a 90-degree angle. Keeping your front leg forward and bent. Arms teed out, body facing to the left this time, warrior two. Same option here. Inhale your arms above head, exhale them back into your T, and each time try to bend a little bit farther into that front leg. And on your next exhale, straighten your legs, meeting your right hand on your right shin. Left arm extended into the sky. Gaze up at your fingertips for your triangle pose. Same option again to flow with this pose. Exhale, bring your arm down to meet your right. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And on your next inhale, bend that front leg back down, resting your elbow on your knee for your extended side angle, reaching your left hand above your head as far as it'll go. Keeping your shoulders, your left shoulder a little rotated back behind your head. Really reach into this pose. Make sure you don't put too much weight into your bent arm, your arm that's resting on your leg. Inhale, straighten legs, hinge at the hips, and step forward into mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay. Inhale, hands above head. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Exhale for a downward dog. Inhale that right leg high. Exhale, step it between your hands for a low lunge. Raising the hands above head. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, twist to the right, hooking your left arm on your right knee. Inhale, hands above head. Exhale, straighten both legs for triangle. And from triangle, on your next inhale, shift all the weight forward. You might have to shorten your stance. Into your right foot, teeing your arms, raising your back leg into warrior three. Really feel the strength in that right leg. Now in your warrior three, a lot of people try to just get the arms and legs as high as possible. But if your hip is lifting, that's not correct. Pretend like your hips are headlights. Keep them straight. And if that means your leg only goes this high, then that's better. You will feel it and work on it from there. Inhale, back to mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. Exhale into downward dog. This time, inhale your left leg high. Exhale, bring it forward in between your hands. Inhale, raise for a low lunge. Keeping that front leg bent. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, twist to the left, hooking your right arm over your left knee. Let's take a few breaths here. Lengthen the spine. And on an inhale, meet back into center, hands at heart center. Straighten the legs, bringing your left leg to your left shin for a triangle pose. Right hand to the sky. And when you're ready, shift all your weight into your left leg, raising your right toes off the ground, teeing your arms into your warrior three, paying attention to your hips, making sure that they stay as square as possible. Pretend they're headlights. It doesn't matter what you look like, it matters what it feels like. And when we're ready, inhale back into mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we did a lot of this earlier today, so with your hands at heart center, inhale, put all your weight into your left foot. Inhale your right leg to tree pose. Your leg can go anywhere except for the knee. Your right foot can go anywhere on your leg. It could be thigh, it could be shin, it could be floor, but just no pressure on your knee. And from tree pose, hands at heart center, bring your right leg forward with a bend knee. Reach out and grab the inside of your foot. Extending, straightening. If you need to keep a micro bend, that's fine. You can bring it out to the side. Keeping your thumb pointed down. And from this pose, bring your leg back down into tree. Hinge forward. We're going to go into dancer pose. Bringing your right leg back, bent. Keeping your thumbs down. Reach back for your foot. Raise your left arm out to the front for balance. And push that right leg into your hands, raising it towards the sky. Feel how strong you are in that left leg. Whoops. And we can exhale, come out of it, inhale into mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right. Putting all the weight into your right foot. Inhale your left leg into tree pose. Remembering to avoid the knee. You can place it on your thigh, on your shin. Hands at heart center. From your tree pose, bring your left knee forward, bent, And with your thumb facing down, grab your foot and extend, bringing it out to the side if you can. Inhale, and when you exhale, bring it back to center. Bending your knee. Perfect. And when you're ready with bent knee, swing it to the back, hinging at your hips. Thumb facing down, reach back for your foot. Bring your right hand forward. And then push into that back leg. Raising. Front arm, gaze to the front. Dancer pose. Exhale, back into mountain. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's bring it down to your mat. All right, let's find our tabletop. Hands below shoulders, neutral spine, hands below hips. Knees below hips. And exhale into your downward dog. Pedal out that dog. Notice how it feels different. We're gonna raise our right leg high, and on your exhale, bring it forward. Meet your knee to your right elbow, and then bring your foot to the outside of your mat for pigeon pose. Look back at your left leg and make sure that it's straight. Don't sickle your ankle, meaning turn it inwards. Keep that as straight as possible, and that might feel tight in the buttocks, but that's okay. Breathe into your hips. Option to lower onto your forearms. We're going to take a couple breaths here, stretching out those hips. And on your next inhale, peel yourself up. Slowly. And we're gonna step back from pigeon into plank and raise the hips for another downward dog. This time, inhaling the left leg high, and on your exhale, bring the knee to your left elbow, placing the foot on the outside of your mat, and stepping back into pigeon, keeping your right leg straight. Don't sickle the foot. If you need a block or a blanket to place underneath your bum, feel free to do so. Feel free to lower yourself onto your forearms. Breathe into the hips. And when you're ready, peel yourself back up, straightening the arms, untangling the leg back into downward dog, inviting the heels towards the mat. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knee, hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, walk your feet towards the edges of your mat, keeping your feet at a 45-degree angle. Now inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale down into Malasana, keeping your heels as close to the ground as possible. If you need to put a blanket underneath them, that's fine. If you can't bring them down, that's also fine. Keeping your spine as straight as possible, hands at heart center. A lot of cultures find this as a resting pose. It's a great hip opener. It's good for pregnancy. Let's take a few breaths here together. And on your exhale, plant your hands forward. We're gonna prep crow. So walk your feet back in just a little bit. We're gonna place the hands a little wider than shoulder width apart. Spread the fingertips. Bend at the elbow, putting all your weight into your hands, shifting forward. If you need to have some blocks in front of you to rest your head on. And then when you're ready, put your knees on your triceps, leaning forward. And either one foot at a time or both, lift your feet off the ground for crow. We'll take one breath here. Now, this next pose, firefly, is really hard. I don't know, I can't do it. But if you can, straighten your leg out, hooking your elbow underneath your knee. And you're gonna do the same on the other side. And the object is to get both feet off of the ground. Can we do even one at a time? Oh, she might do it. Yes! Yes! Baby firefly! And that's good. That's good for today. I'm happy with that. Wonderful. Okay, from meet me in a forward fold, please. I'm so proud of you. That was awesome. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank. Drop your knees into a tabletop. And then swing around, bringing your ankles to one side, hips to the other. And we're going to meet now in a seated forward fold. Inhale, arms above head, and exhale, fold forward, inviting your chest towards your knees. Option to put a block. If you can reach your toes. And each inhale, lengthen a little bit in your spine, and exhale, bring your chest a little bit closer to your knees. If you're pregnant, do the best you can. This is actually one of the hardest poses in yoga, believe it or not. Everything is engaged, your ankles, your calves, your hamstrings, spine, your shoulders. Breathe. Remember your Ujjayi breath. And let's inhale, come hinge back up. Inhale your arms above head. And on your exhale, place them behind you, fingertips facing the wall behind you. Placing them kind of close, I'd say about 10 inches from your hips. And on an inhale, raise your bum into the air for an incline. Keeping the feet straight. Inviting the chest towards the sky, gaze towards the sky. Inclined plane is what I was failing to say. Exhale, bring your bum back down to the mat. Inhale, arms above head. And on your exhale, bring your right leg into, bend your right knee and bring your foot into your thigh. Keeping your left leg straight, inhale your arms above head, and on your exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, and take a few breaths here. Feel that side stretch. With each inhale, stretch a little bit farther. Option to bring your hands above your head, your right hand above your head. And on your inhale, come back up to a seat. And with your legs still bent, place your foot on the mat. And then on an inhale, raise your right arm back, placing it behind you. And exhale, bring your left arm to the outside of your right knee and twist. Inhale, and then exhale, twist a little bit farther. Gaze can go over your right shoulder. Perfect. And from this pose, I can't do it because I'm pregnant, but from this pose, inhale some energy up and go. Bring your butt off the ground into Wild Thing. Perfect. Wonderful. Really feel that stretch. Keeping the bend in the knee. Gaze is looking at the back wall. And exhale. Bring your bum back to the ground and meet me in a forward fold. Perfect. And on your next inhale, bring your left foot in to meet your right thigh, keeping your right leg straight. Inhale some good energy above your head. Exhale, fold over your right leg, inviting your chest towards your knee, flexing your toes. Option to bring blocks, straps, any props. Inhale, rise back to center. Planting that foot, keeping the bend in the knee. Placing your left hand behind your hip. Bringing that right arm in on the outside of your left leg and twist. Your gaze will go over your left shoulder. And with each inhale and exhale, twist a little bit farther. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Keeping that left hand planted and your left leg planted, raise your right arm and bring your bum up off the mat into your wild thing. Feel that stretch. Take one breath here. And on your exhale, bring your bum back down to your mat. With both feet planted on the mat, sits bones comfortably on the mat. Actually, let's turn to the left here for our boat pose. That way we're not flashing the camera. So with your bum on the ground, raise your feet. We're gonna start with our hands behind our knees. And really straighten that spine. Straighten it as much as possible. Perfect. And if this feels good, with your spine straight, let go from your knees. And bring your hands to hover next to your legs. Your option is always to stay in whatever is comfortable for you. And when you're ready, if you can do this, you can stay like this if you'd like. But we're gonna grab our big toes, straighten each leg for a wide boat pose. Perfect. Keeping the spine straight. Exhale, bring your feet down into butterfly. Perfect. Inhale some good energy above your head. Exhale, fold over your butterfly. How were we doing on time? Our last sequence is moving through the chakra sequences with our chants. So if you came to my last class, we have done all of these poses before. But if you want to meet me in a tabletop, we're going to prep headstand. So come down onto your elbows. Make a basket with your hands and with your pinkies and your ring fingers being the ones for sure planted on the ground. Place the crown of your head into your basket. Raise the hips to the sky. Walk your feet in as close as possible. And if that's where you are, that's fine. You can raise one leg at a time. If you are used to practicing headstand, if you are healthy and able to do it, you can bring both legs to the sky. It is not necessary for today. But while we're still with our head on the ground, we're gonna chant Om together. So we're gonna inhale. Om. meet me back in a tabletop. Bring your big toes together, widen the knees to the edge of your mat, and fold forward into a child's pose, walking your hands all the way out in front of you, inviting the hips towards the feet. And this chant is Kasham. So after a couple breaths from child's pose, we're going to inhale, exhale, Kasham, inhale, Kasham, Kasham. Perfect. And on your next inhale, come out of your child's pose into a tabletop. Swing your feet around, meet me on your bum, and we're going to do a shoulder stand and plow. And that chant is with an H, H-A-M, So to get into shoulder stand, lay all the way down on your back, keeping your shoulders tight, your elbows tight into your ribs. Bend your knees. I like to place my hands on my hips. Raise your legs into the sky, and you're welcome to get some momentum. And then lift, placing your hands on your lower back. And on your exhale, invite your toes all the way to the ground. And we're going to chant inhale, Okay, come out of plow the way you got into shoulder stand, slowly lowering your bum to the ground. Staying here, we're going to do a bridge pose. So from your back, bend your knees, push into your feet, raise your hips, keeping your shoulders on the floor. If wheel is in your practice, we won't do wheel today, right? No, we won't. Wheel's not in our practice today. But if you wanted to do wheel, you would place your hands, fingertips pointed towards your body by your ears. And the same way you pushed up into bridge, you would push your entire body, raising your belly towards the sky. But because of pregnancy and injury, we're not doing wheel today. So with that being said, let's lower out of bridge, bring your bum back down to the mat. And we're going to wiggle our elbows underneath us with knees bent, especially if you're pregnant or injured. This takes a little pressure off of your lower abdomen. And we're going to come into fish pose or a fish pose variation. And from fish pose, we're going to chant yam with a Y, Y-A-M, yam. So with your gaze towards the back of the room, we're going to inhale, yam, inhale, yam, inhale, yam. Perfect. And slowly walk yourself back up into a seated position. Rinse that off. Maybe take a little forward fold as a counter pose for your lower back. I know that hurt my lower back. Okay, just a few more poses and then we will rest in Shavasana. This has been a very challenging class. I hope you enjoyed it. But let's lay back into half Shavasana. Invite your knees into your chest, give it a nice little hug. Move side to side, massaging that lower back. And from center, spread your knees apart a little bit and invite your arms on the inside of your knees and reach down for your toes. And we're gonna do Happy Baby. And from Happy Baby, the chant is Ram with an R, Ram. So let's inhale together. Ram. 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 Perfect. And slowly let go of your feet, bringing your legs back down to your mat. With your knees still bent, invite your knees to the right side, teeing your arms for a reclined twist. This should feel really good on your sides and your lower back. Invite the gaze to the left. And from this position, we're going to chant Vam with a V. Inhale. Vam. 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 We'll even that side out, but I invite you to just relax in this pose after a hard workout. And on your next inhale, bring your legs back to center, keeping your arms teed, and exhaling them over to the other side, inviting the gaze to the right. Option to chant with me. On the inhale, Vam. 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 Okay. Inhale your legs back to center and find reclined butterfly legs, bringing your feet to touch. If this is too much on your hips, you're more than welcome to put a block under each side to get your pelvis out of protection mode. And from this pose, we're going to chant Lam with an L. Inhale. Lam. 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 Melanie did so good today. I'm so proud of her and myself. Our final resting pose is Shavasana. You're more than welcome to stay in butterfly legs, or you can extend your legs towards either side of your mat. hands by your side, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you need a bolster pillow for under your legs or blocks anywhere, please do so. Center your breath. Perfect. I'm going to try to cleanse us with a sound bath. Although we learned at the beginning of class I need some practice. But this is how you do it. This is how you practice. So as I do the sound bowl, the singing bowl, think of that intention that we set at the beginning of class. Whether it was one word or a goal or something you need to let go of, something you're working towards. And as we lay here, let's check in with our body. As Melanie says, a full body scan. So starting with your forehead, relax your forehead, unclench your jaw, relax your tongue. Breathe any tension out of your neck and your shoulders. Let your hands feel heavy. Feel your belly rise and fall with your breath. Feel your hips supported by your mat and the ground beneath you. Feel your leg muscles relax, your feet fall to the side. How does it feel to just rest? Knowing that there's nothing else you need to do in this moment, but breathe and relax. At this point, I'm going to walk around with some oil. Continue to relax, and I will wake you when it's time. true purpose of yoga is to discover that aspect of your being that can never be lost. Yoga does not start or end on your mat, but is present in every breath you take. Begin to invite little movements back into your body, wiggling your toes, opening your eyes, taking another deep breath, maybe the deepest breath you've taken today. And sigh it out your mouth. Notice how you feel different after your yoga practice. And as you begin to wake yourself back up, roll onto one side, slowly, gently. And when you're ready, meet me in a seat with hands at heart center. The light in me honors the light in you and all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today and allowing me to guide you. Namaste. Woo! Good job, Melody! That was hard.
Thank you so much.
You did so good. And I was so sweaty. You can see the evidence. Thank you, SYI yoga teachers. I hope you enjoyed it. We're actually on time today.